guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back and happy Halloween. For this video, I decided I want to show you guys the makeup that I did for this year's Halloween costume. I decided to go as a deer this year, mainly because the makeup looked super fun and also not too hard. I only had to buy one new thing in order to do this, so I was able to mostly just use the makeup that I already own. And so overall, really simple, really budget friendly. I ended up wearing just this beige brown romper that I have and put my hair into two little buns at the top of my head. You could also make ears if you wanted to, but I just decided to keep it simple. So I hope you guys enjoy and find this fun to watch and helpful, and happy Halloween! So the first thing I'm doing is I'm putting a primer on my face. This is the Pixi Flawless and Poreless Face Primer. This is totally optional if you're not a primer kind of person. I just like to do this just to kind of even out my skin and hopefully allow the makeup to last a little bit longer. The next thing I'm doing is I'm just applying my normal foundation. This is the Ulta Double Duty Foundation in the shade Classic Ivory. It's obviously way too light for me right now, but that's all going to be okay in a second once I apply a ton of bronzer, because this is a very bronzer heavy look. So pretty much right now we're just doing the typical face makeup, so primer, foundation, concealer, etc. You can just use whichever products you prefer. Next thing I'm doing is my concealer. So this is a combination of the Pixi Correction Concentrate and Brightening Peach, which is a peachy toned corrector, and the e.l.f. HD Concealer in the shade Fair. So I'm just pretty self-explanatory, just putting the corrector on first and then the concealer over the top of that, and then blending it all out with my e.l.f. Concealer brush. Then I'm setting everything with my Wet n Wild Take on the Day mattifying powder. Just setting my under eye concealer and then the rest of my face using a larger brush just to set that foundation in place. Now it's bronzer time, so I am taking my e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzer Duo in St. Lucia, just using the bronzer with an angled brush from Wet n Wild, and I am just going to lay this on really thick in the area that I normally contour, so just contouring out the cheekbones. If you normally have to be really light-handed with your bronzer, now is the time to just go crazy and use as much bronzer as your little heart desires. Now I'm also contouring my forehead, just kind of taking it along my temples all the way across, really darkening up the area. I'm doing it kind of gradually though, I don't want to do it all at once. Now I'm taking a fluffier powder brush and going into that same bronzer, just kind of adding more to the areas that I've already bronzed, adding some depth and just deepening up my overall skin tone even more. Now we are contouring the nose, so I'm taking a kind of fluffy angled eyeliner brush, taking some of that bronzer again, and just sculpting the sides of my nose, kind of starting from the eyebrow and working downwards. We want it to look blended, but we're also not trying to look real here. I mean, this is a deer costume, so don't be afraid to use as much product as you feel comfortable using. Okay, so now that we've just done all that dramatic contouring, it's time to even it all out by doing some very dramatic highlighting. So I'm using this Wet n Wild Fantasy Makers Enchanting Body Crayon, and it's the white one, just highlighting everything, the nose, the center of the forehead, the cheekbones, the chin, and I'm just blending it all out with my finger because it's easier that way. This white crayon is a part of Wet n Wild's annual Halloween limited edition set that they put out, and I found it at Walgreens. I also saw it at Target, and it only cost me like $2. So, but if you can't find this particular item, you could also just use any white jumbo pencil if you already have one. I know Milani also carries a similar product to this white crayon, and I know a lot of other brands do too, so I don't think it should be hard to find something like this. And now, just to kind of make everything look a little bit more seamless, I'm going back in with that fluffy powder brush and adding just a little bit more of the bronzer, kind of, just to kind of blend everything out a little bit more. And then I felt like everything was looking a little bit harsh, so I brought in my trusty old kabuki brush and just went over all of that stuff that I just did to kind of even it out and blend it out. And I also felt the need to kind of go back and redefine that nose contour, so I'm just going in and adding just a little bit more and also just blending everything out one more time. Now it's time to make some dots, so I'm using that crayon again and just kind of playing it by ear here. I just did dots on the cheeks, but you could also do some on your forehead or wherever you want. So you may have to just do some experimenting here to see what you like best. You may also have to erase them a million times and redo them, which is what I actually did, but ended up editing out because I didn't want to bore you guys to death. Now it's time for some eye makeup. So I am just putting on my eyelid primer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. It's my all-time favorite. So now it's time to fill in the eyebrows. I'm using my Sonia Kashuk brow definer in the shade Taupe. This is a new eyebrow pencil I've been trying out lately, and I've actually really been enjoying it. So I'm just filling in my brows like I normally do. I'm really not doing anything special here. Now I'm adding just a fun little detail. I'm actually just creating 3 little extra hairs going kind of diagonally away from my brows, just to make me look a little bit more animal-like. Now for eyeshadow, I'm keeping things very matte, and I'm using my Physicians Formula Quartz Quartet Quad, just that creamy light color in there all over the lids, just to kind of set a base for everything. Next I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow palette and going into that matte taupe color and just blending this all over the crease kind of as a transition color, just using a fluffy crease brush to do this. Now I'm going into that deeper matte brown with my e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush and kind of just patting this into the outer corner and up into the crease, just deepening up that outer corner quite a bit. And then I'm going and blending it with that crease brush again, just to blend everything all together. Then I'm going into the lightest color and just highlighting the brow bone and the inner corners. Now for eyeliner, I'm using the Physicians Formula Eye Booster eyeliner in Ultra Black, and I'm just kind of doing eyeliner like I normally would, but making a wing at the end, kind of a more dramatic wing than I normally would do. Next, you can just apply whatever mascara you like. I'm using the Essence I Heart Extreme Volume Mascara, and really just building up those top lashes. You could also do false lashes if you like doing those. I just don't like false lashes, so I'm skipping those altogether. Now for some fun stuff. So I'm drawing on my nose with a dark brown pencil eyeliner. This particular one is from Wet n Wild. And it's kind of hard to explain what I'm doing here, but you can kind of get the idea. I'm just sort of drawing a kind of heart-shaped nose around my nostrils and just filling it in. Then I'm just drawing a thin line from my nose to my Cupid's bow. It's kind of hard to get a nice even straight line, so you might have to use a makeup removing wipe again to just even it out. Now using that same dark brown eyeliner, I'm filling in my top lip only. And I'm using this just as if it were a lip liner. It might feel a little weird, but it's going to look totally awesome in just a second. Now I'm taking this Jordana 12 Hour Made to Last eyeshadow pencil in Continuous Almond. It's kind of just a nude color, and filling in my lower lip. You could use any nude colored pencil for this, but this is just the one that I have. So that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe if you would like to, and I'll talk to you next time.